You've probably used ChatGPT, maybe every single day. You type something in, it types something back. It sounds smart, it sounds human, it remembers the conversation. But have you ever stopped and wondered, what is actually happening in there? Is it searching the internet? Is it looking things up in a database? Is there some kind of giant encyclopedia it reads from? No. No. And no. What's actually happening is something far more interesting, and by the end of this video, you'll actually understand it. No maths, no coding, just a clear explanation anyone can follow. Let's go.
Before we get to what ChatGPT actually is, let's quickly kill 3 myths that almost everyone believes. Myth 1. ChatGPT is a search engine. It's not. When you ask it a question, it is not going online and looking up the answer for you. It has no live internet connection by default. Myth 2. It's some kind of encyclopedia or database. There's no giant folder of facts it pulls from when it replies. It doesn't retrieve anything. It generates everything from scratch. Myth 3. There's a human typing on the other end. There isn't. What you're getting is a machine. A very specific kind of machine. So if it's not searching, not retrieving, not human, what is it doing? It is predicting, one word at a time. That's the whole secret. And now let me show you how.
Before anything else, you need to understand one word: token. ChatGPT doesn't process your text the way you read it, letter by letter, word by word. It breaks everything into chunks called tokens. A token is roughly 3/4 of a word. Sometimes it's a whole word, sometimes it's just part of one. The word ChatGPT, for example, that's 3 tokens. Chat, G, PT. Look at the colors on screen. Now here's why this matters. ChatGPT was trained on hundreds of billions of these tokens. We're talking about an enormous portion of the written internet. Books, articles, websites, code, conversations. It absorbed all of that text as tokens, and from all of that reading, it learned something remarkable. It learned the patterns of how tokens follow each other. That learning process is what we call training, and that's our next slide.
So how did ChatGPT actually learn all of this? The answer is training, and it happened in 2 phases. Phase 1 is called pre-training. Imagine feeding a model the equivalent of millions of books and websites. For every sequence of tokens it read, it had one job: predict what token comes next. It made a guess. It was told whether it was right. It adjusted. Then it did it again, billions of times. Over and over until it became extremely good at predicting what naturally follows in human language. But pre-training alone makes a model that's brilliant, but not necessarily helpful or safe. That's where phase 2 comes in, fine-tuning. Human reviewers rated its responses. The model learned which kinds of answers were good, helpful, honest, harmless, and which were not. Here's something important to understand. This training is completely finished before you ever open the app. ChatGPT is not learning from your conversations in real time. It was trained once on a fixed dataset and then deployed. So now it knows language, but how does it actually generate a response when you type something? That's the transformer.
The architecture behind ChatGPT is called the transformer. You don't need to understand how to build one, but you do need to understand its key idea, and it's called attention. Before the transformer, AI read text the way you read a book, word by word, left to right, slowly building up context. The transformer changed everything. It reads all the tokens at the same time. Imagine you're given a paragraph to read. Instead of reading word by word, you instantly see the whole thing, and your brain lights up the parts that connect to each other. He refers to James 3 sentences earlier. It refers to the machine from the previous paragraph. The transformer does exactly this. It figures out which tokens are connected to which other tokens and how strongly. That process is called attention. It's the reason ChatGPT can track a long conversation. It's the reason it understands what it or that refers to. It's the reason it sounds coherent over many paragraphs. And once it's processed your message through attention, it uses all of that understanding to do one thing: predict the next token. Here it is, the core trick, the whole thing. When you type, "The capital of France is," ChatGPT doesn't look that up anywhere. It calculates the probability of every possible token that could come next. Paris, very high probability, 96%. Lyon, possible but unlikely, 2%. Berlin, that's in Germany, so almost zero. A city, grammatically fine, but not what a knowledgeable model would say. It picks the highest probability token, which in this case is Paris. Then, and this is crucial, it starts again, takes the whole sentence, including Paris, and predicts the next token after that. And again, token by token, until it decides the answer is complete. Think of it like autocomplete on your phone, but instead of being trained on just your messages, it was trained on essentially all of human writing, so its predictions are vastly more sophisticated. Every single word ChatGPT has ever produced was generated exactly this way. One token, then the next, then the next.
So we understand the mechanism, predicting tokens, but that still doesn't fully explain why it sounds so natural. Why does it feel like talking to a person? Reason 1, it was trained exclusively on human writing. Every pattern it knows, how to open a paragraph, how to structure an argument, how to express empathy, it learned from us, from humans, so of course it sounds like one. 2, attention. It doesn't just remember your last message. It holds the whole conversation in context and keeps its answers coherent. That's why it doesn't randomly change the subject mid-reply. 3, and this one surprises people. It's not always picking the most likely word. There's a setting called temperature that adds a touch of randomness. If it always picked the most probable token, it would sound repetitive and dull. A little unpredictability makes it feel more creative and alive. And 4, fine-tuning. Remember phase 2 from our training slide? That's what shaped it from a raw language model into something that actually wants to help you, that feels responsive, that structures its answers clearly. These 4 things together are why you can have a conversation that feels surprisingly human, even though nothing inside it is.
Now, understanding what ChatGPT can't do is just as important as knowing what it can. Hallucination. This is the big one. Because ChatGPT is trained to produce plausible text, not verified true text, it can generate a confident, well-written answer that is completely made up. It doesn't always know that it doesn't know something, and that's genuinely dangerous if you're not aware of it. Knowledge cutoff. ChatGPT was trained on data up to a certain date. After that, it simply doesn't know. It's not hiding information. It genuinely wasn't trained on it. So if you ask about something that happened recently, be careful. Maths. This one surprises people. ChatGPT is not a calculator. It's a token predictor. It can get basic maths right because it's seen enough examples, but complex multi-step calculations, it often gets them wrong because it's predicting what the answer should look like, not actually computing it. And finally, no long-term memory. Start a new chat, and it has forgotten everything from the last one. Every session starts completely fresh unless you explicitly give it context again. The bottom line, use ChatGPT as a brilliant first draft, a brainstorming partner, a patient explainer, but always verify the important stuff.
So what comes after ChatGPT? The model we've been talking about is already extraordinary, but the trajectory it's on is even more exciting. Real-time web access. Newer versions of ChatGPT can already browse the internet live. That knowledge cutoff problem being solved right now. Multimodality.
ChatGPT can already see images, but future models are being built to process audio, video, and code all at once, not as separate tasks, but together, one unified intelligence across all types of information. Agentic AI. And if you watched our last video on AI agents, you'll recognize this. Instead of just generating text, the AI takes actions. It books your appointments. It writes your code and runs it. It browses, clicks, fills forms. It works. And context windows, the amount the model can hold in its working memory at once, are growing fast. We're moving toward models that can hold an entire book in their context, an entire code base. The implications of that are enormous. What we have today is already remarkable, but what's coming is genuinely transformative. And now that you understand how it works, you're much better positioned to use it and understand it as it keeps evolving.
All right, let's bring it all together. 1. ChatGPT predicts tokens. It doesn't search, it doesn't look things up. It generates every single word from scratch, one token at a time, based on probability. 2. It learned from an enormous amount of human text, not a database of facts, but patterns of language. That's why it's brilliant at writing and explanation, and sometimes wrong on specific facts. 3. The transformer's attention mechanism is what makes it coherent. It reads everything at once and figures out what connects to what, which is why it can hold a long conversation without losing the thread. 4. It can hallucinate, with confidence, fluently, convincingly. That's not a bug that will necessarily be fixed. It's a consequence of how it works. Knowing that makes you a smarter user. You now understand something that most people who use ChatGPT every day have never stopped to think about, and I genuinely think that matters. If this was useful, hit subscribe. I put out a new beginner AI explainer every single week. See you in the next one.